Hi there. So today what we want to do is we want to review some good note-taking practices, and I'm going to guide you through the section 1 on the Middle East, or at least the ancient world there in the Middle East. So we're going to be practicing some good note-taking. The first thing that we want to do is we want to survey the text, so we want to prepare and make sure that we have our materials ready. And to show you that I'm prepared, what I have is I have my notes, I have it titled, I also have my page numbers that I'm going to be focusing on. I've also surveyed my text, which is right below my composition book at this time. And now what I want to do is I want to start to read and I want to ask questions. And essentially, there are two questions I want to focus on. The first one is probably the most vital. What is the paragraph actually about? And then secondly, what are 2 to 3 details that support the main idea? This is, of course, for nonfiction textbook note-taking. This is essentially creating an outline. And that's the way that we're going to be taking our notes. This is what we're focusing in on. This is what we're honing in on for note-taking purposes. When we do write our notes, we're going to jot them down. We're not going to write in complete sentences. Okay, so let's start. Here's our text. This is the first chapter, first section, and this is the first paragraph. Being a first paragraph, it's going to be a leaping off point. It's going to be talking about ancient Mesopotamia very, very vaguely. So it's trying to set the reader up with an idea. And this idea, I can tell by surveying the text, and this blue word is civilization. So let's read this together. As we read it together, then what we'll do is start to take notes. Egypt in North Africa and Mesopotamia in Southwest Asia were the earliest known civilizations. Historians use the term civilization to describe highly developed cultures. Civilizations include cities, organized governments and religions, and systems of writing. They have specialized workers, such as blacksmiths, builders, and teachers. Civilizations also use technology and metals. The time of the earliest civilizations is known as the Bronze Age, because people relied on the metal bronze, a mixture of copper and tin, to make tools and weapons. Now what I want to do is I want to take this information and I want to put it in my notes. But the first question again is, what is this paragraph actually about? If I go back, yes, it starts off talking about Egypt and Mesopotamia, but that's not really the purpose. The purpose is to talk about civilizations and what a civilization is. So in my notes, what I want to end up doing is I want to write that idea. I'm going to write in civilization. So over here in my margin, I'm going to write down civilization. I'll underline that too, because this is the main idea for this particular paragraph. Then I'm going to put in my colon. Why? Because it gave a definition, and this is a term. So civilization, now I can write down what the civilization is. It's a highly developed culture. Civilization, a highly developed culture. Now, what I need to do is to ask that question of, well, what proof do I have? What examples were given in the text? So if I look after that particular sentence, it'll start to say civilizations include cities, organized governments, and religions. So right here, I should have the idea of cities, governments. They have governments. They're also going to have religion. And writing. So all of those things are going to be found in a highly developed culture. If we look at the next one, the next sentence, it also gave some other examples. Specialized workers. So specialized jobs. Examples. Could be teaching or teachers. We could have builders. could have other occupations as well. Think about what we may see within our own community. We have police officers, so people enforce the laws. We also have other people such as tax collectors. We have other government officials. We're going to have people who work with sewage, people with garbage. So all of those things are going to be part of civilization, specialized jobs. We're going to have carpenters, all of those trades as well. And if we continue down, the next sentence says civilizations also use technology and metals. So right there I have a good idea of what a civilization is. And if I want to, I could also write down first appeared during the Bronze Age. Why? Because that's when they actually started working with metals. So first appeared in Bronze Age. Now keep in mind, certain civilizations are going to be going through the Bronze Age during different periods of time historically. But when we look at Southwest Asia, we're going to notice the Bronze Age is going to be first emerging in this region about the same time, and it's going to start spreading out from there. So this is how we end up taking our notes. This is an example for that first paragraph. I'm going to show you in another clip how to write down the notes for Mesopotamia, which is next in our text.